Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King. Welcome back to our special edition of 2020 New Hampshire presidential primary election results. We are getting breaking news right now that Andrew Yang has suspended his campaign. Let's listen in to what Andrew Yang is saying right now.
Me and Evelyn in this campaign at every turn. Your passion and energy, your donations, and hundreds of thousands of hours calling, volunteering, your enthusiasm, dedication, and commitment. We've accomplished so much together. We have brought a message of humanity first and a vision of an economy and society that works for us and our families to millions of our fellow Americans. We went from a mailing list that started with just my Gmail contact list to receiving donations from over 400,000 people around the country and millions more who've supported this campaign. One of the things I'm most proud of, we gave $1,000 a month to 13 families around the country, including Jody Bassey right here in New Hampshire. We highlighted the real problems in our communities as our economy is being transformed before our eyes by technology and automation. And Americans know now that when you go to a factory in Michigan, you do not find wall-to-wall immigrants doing work. You find wall-to-wall robot arms and machines doing the work that people used to do. We stood on the debate stage and shifted our national conversation to include the fourth industrial revolution, a topic no one wanted to touch until we made it happen here with this campaign. Our signature proposal, universal basic income, has become part of the mainstream conversation. We increased the popular support for universal basic income to 66% of Democrats and 72% among voters 18 to 34. Without a doubt, we accelerated the eradication of poverty in our society by years, even generations. And that is thanks to all of you who are here tonight. Though thousands of voters came out for our campaign tonight is not the outcome we fought so hard to achieve. It is bitterly disappointing for many of us, but it shouldn't be. Every single day I've been campaigning, I've had supporters say to me, "Your campaign helped me out of a depression. Thank you." Working on this campaign has made me a better person. I met my significant other because of you. Your campaign brought my family together. Your campaign got me excited about politics for the first time. These are all things that people have said to me in the past days, and they are the reasons why I am so incredibly proud of this campaign and what we've accomplished together. We have touched and improved millions of lives and moved this country we love so much in the right direction. And while there is great work left to be done, you know I am the math guy, and it is clear tonight from the numbers that we are not going to win this race. I am not someone who wants to accept...
So that's Andrew Yang suspending his campaign, saying that they couldn't quite get to where they wanted to be, but thankful to his supporters and everyone who helped him through this effort through the last several months.
Okay, thanking supporters. And let's get a look now at about 18 past the hour with 12% of precincts in. And here we go. Bernie Sanders at 28%, but not too far behind is Pete Buttigieg at 23%, and not too far behind is Amy Klobuchar at 20%, and then Elizabeth Warren at 12%.
And here's a look at the rest of the field. Joe Biden, the former vice president, at 8% with about 2,600 votes now, with 12% reporting. Biden left the state around 4:30 this afternoon for a launch campaign effort in South Carolina. Andrew Yang, as we just saw, who has suspended his campaign with about 3% of the vote. And Tom Steyer, who left the state on Sunday, headed to South Carolina and then on to Nevada.
Okay, Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard at 2%, the former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick and Senator Michael Bennet there under 1% at this point.
And on the Republican side, this is pretty much what was expected. The interesting number, the number of votes with 12% reporting. About 8,000 granite staters came out so far and to show their support for the president. Bill Weld, the Maverick Republican, so to speak, and the challengers in at about 12% of the vote.
Okay, so we are standing by. Perhaps we're going to be hearing from Senator Elizabeth Warren shortly. When that happens, we will bring that to you live. But in the meantime, that's a lot of brain power over there.
Brain power over there. What are we going to do?
Political depth over there.
Oh my goodness.
Goodness indeed.
We didn't have enough, and we were like, you know what?
Let's bring in somebody else.
Political Director Emeritus Scott Bradley.
He's going to replace all the ones that I've lost.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
But seriously here right now, one thing about Andrew Yang. This is one of the examples of the primary elevating somebody, and people in New Hampshire responded to that guy. I can remember when he was walking around Concord and couldn't give away copies of his book. He ended up handing 2 to me, and here he is. He's gotten someplace that nobody expected.
Yeah, absolutely true. And I think this is another thing that we're watching happening in New Hampshire is that we're now going to start to see this field start to whittle down. And as we've now seen with Andrew Yang, I don't think this is going to be the only candidate by the week's end that is going to be jumping out of this
And
thing.
we're going to jump to Elizabeth Warren now, who we are told has taken the stage.
So the results are still coming in from across the state, but right now it is clear that Senator Sanders and Mayor Buttigieg had strong nights. And I also want to congratulate my friend and colleague, Amy Klobuchar, for showing just how wrong the pundits can be when they count a woman out. But since we are here tonight among family and friends, I also want us to be honest with ourselves as Democrats. We might be headed for another one of those long primary fights that last for months. We're 2 states in with 55 states and territories to go. We still have 98% of our delegates for our nomination up for grabs, and Americans in every part of the country are going to make their voices heard. That's right. The question for us Democrats is whether it will be a long, bitter rehash of the same old divides in our party, or whether we can find another way. Senator Sanders and Mayor Buttigieg are both great people, and either one of them would be a far better president than Donald Trump. I respect them both. But the fight between factions in our party has taken a sharp turn in recent weeks, with ads mocking other candidates and with supporters of some candidates shouting curses at other Democratic candidates. These harsh tactics might work if you are willing to burn down the rest of the party in order to be the last man standing. They might work if you don't worry about leaving our party and our politics worse off than how you found it. And they might work if you think only you have all the answers, and only you are the solution to all our problems. But if we're going to beat Donald Trump in November, we're going to need huge turnout within our party. And to get that turnout, we will need a nominee that the broadest coalition of our party feels like they can get behind. We cannot afford to fall into factions. We can't afford to squander our collective power. We win when we come together. You know, the Reverend Jesse Jackson once said, "It takes two wings to fly." And I think he's right. Our campaign is best positioned to beat Donald Trump in November because we can unite our party. We can unite this party and this country by mobilizing people behind ideas that are not only popular with huge majorities of the American people, but that also accomplish structural change for our broken government and our rigged economy. We can unite people around a wealth tax on the very richest Americans so we can invest in education for all our children. We can unite people around ending corruption in Washington, ending the corruption that has meant stagnant wages, rising costs, and a tighter and tighter squeeze on the middle class. We can do that. Ending corruption that leaves more and more working families with less and less hope for a better future, and that has crushed people of color even harder. Ending the corruption that has shortchanged our kids, our schools, and the very survival of the planet they will inherit. Families in America today are running out of time. We have faced decades of shrinking opportunity, decades of rising inequality, decades of a widening racial wealth gap. Big business has captured and used government to serve its own interests at the expense of smaller businesses and the expense of the American people. I believe in markets, but markets without rules are theft. Markets without rules perpetuate racial discrimination. And for too long, the rules have been rigged against people who just want a level playing field. 2020 is our time to change who makes the rules. Now, it was never my plan to run for office of any kind.
We're glad you did.
Well, good. But not my plan. And I have been in this fight, though, this fight for working families for decades. I fought credit card companies as they tried to trick and track consumers. I fought our own banking regulators to hold them accountable during the financial crash. I fought to build a new federal agency to protect consumers from predatory financial institutions. And I got in this fight. I ran for office because I saw that families were being squeezed harder than ever, and too many politicians were not getting enough done. I'm here to get big things done. Because here's the thing about politicians. Whether they're offering vague platitudes or powerful rhetoric, they will ultimately face the same test, actually getting anything done in a Washington that is badly broken. Americans from all political backgrounds don't need a bunch of flowery words to explain this. They know deep down in their bones exactly why government doesn't work for them. It's corruption, and we need to call it out for what it is. The corruption that gives lobbyists a louder voice than voters. The corruption that lets big companies pay nothing in taxes while small businesses pay full freight. The corruption that ensures that nothing ever changes on gun violence or climate policy or drug prices, even though nearly everyone in America wants change. And let's be specific here. On a day when career prosecutors showed more backbone than almost every Republican senator standing up to this president, Americans of all political stripes are gravely concerned about the corruption of a Trump Justice Department that abandons the rule of law to give sweetheart deals to criminals who commit their crimes on behalf of Donald Trump. And yes, Roger Stone, I'm looking at you. Yep. You bet. So tonight I have a message for our party and for this nation. Our best chance of beating Donald Trump is with a candidate who can do the work. And I mean the hard, disciplined work. A candidate who can build a campaign to unite our party, and a candidate who can build a movement that is ready to take on corruption and win. Can take on corruption in Washington is if we're not beholden to it. Let's just check the facts. Amy and I are the only candidates in this race who are not either billionaires or supported by super PACs. And unlike other candidates, I don't fund my campaign by spending time behind closed doors sucking up to wealthy donors. Our movement is powered by you. It is powered by people. And over the past year, I've had the chance to shake hands or hug way over 100,000 people in more than 220 town halls in 29 states and Puerto Rico. And you know, there are a lot of differences among us. We come from different backgrounds, different religions, languages, and experiences. We have different dreams and different aspirations. We feel the urgency of this moment in different ways. But with all of those glorious differences, for the most part, we want the same things. We want an America where decisions in Washington aren't bought and paid for by lobbyists and big donors. We want an America where every person has a voice in our democracy. We want an America where fossil fuel companies don't have a vice grip on our planet. An America where we can breathe the air and drink the water. An America where every child can dream big and actually have a chance to make it. Because no matter the color of your skin, who you love, how you worship, or what zip code you live in, you deserve an America where you are safe and your opportunities are just as good as anyone else's. See that America. That America is within our reach. And if you can imagine that America, if you think it's worth fighting for, then join us. Go to ElizabethWarren.com right now. Pitch in a few bucks. Sign up to volunteer. Get involved with our campaign. This moment will not come our way again. So tonight, I'm here to say thank you. Thank you to every volunteer. Thank you to every organizer, to every door knocker, to every phone banker, for every $5 donor. Thank you. Thank you for helping build a movement to take back our democracy and to rebuild it from the grassroots up. And while I'm thanking everyone, I want to take just a moment, where are you, to thank my sweetie Bruce. And I also want to thank the good boy who posed for one selfie after another, our Bailey. The fight we're in, the fight to save our democracy, is an uphill battle. But our campaign is built for the long haul. And we are just getting started. I am grateful down to my toes for what our campaign has been able to accomplish so far. My plans for this country have been influenced by letters pressed into my palms by little girls. My will to fight has been strengthened by the people who have whispered their dreams in my ears. My determination to lead a movement has been forged by the tens of thousands of people who have said they are ready to fight for an America they know we can be. Because if we have the hope that comes with dreaming big, if we have the courage to fight hard, we are going to win. Thank you.
Okay, and there you have Elizabeth Warren, who's addressing her supporters tonight. She is congratulating Senator Bernie Sanders, Amy Klobuchar, and Pete Buttigieg, saying that they had a better night in New Hampshire than she did. Also taking some familiar themes from her campaign trail here in New Hampshire.
Okay, there you go. You just heard Elizabeth Warren speaking to her supporters, and we're hearing breaking news. New Hampshire Democrat primary, Joe Biden and Senator Warren will not reach the 15% threshold statewide and in each congressional district, according to the NBC Decision Desk, meaning they will not receive delegates from the New Hampshire primary. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We will be right back. Do not go anywhere. You're watching our special edition right here on the Riley King Network.